You know, when we go cruising, there are just some must-take things that we have to make sure we bring with us.
Yep.
And they solve some big problems on cruise ships.
They sure do.
Well, should we talk about that?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Terry with Next Wave Cruising.
I'm Rich with Next Wave Cruising.
You know, before we get started on these top 5 packing tips, things we won't leave home without anymore for our cruises, I think we need to tell people why they should stay till the end.
Well, that's because there's not 5, there's 6. We have a bonus one
we can't count.
that is really kind of neat. Yeah. So we had 5 and I said, oh, what about this? And it's okay.
It's worth a bonus.
Do a bonus, right? So stay to the end. We have a bonus tip and also with a big experiment involved with that one.
That's right. We're going to have some fun, so don't miss it. Stay tuned. Here we go with our first of the top 5 tips. Hey, Rich, how do you think it works for you when we're in a stateroom on a ship and we have to leave that bathroom light on all night long just in case somebody has to get up?
You know, there are some ships that I've been on that have been absolutely excellent. They either have a built-in light. There was a river cruise we were on that had one tiny little blue LED in there. Did a perfect job. Most of the cruise ships, even the brand new ones, don't have that. So either the door has to be, cracked open, or you have to stumble your way through.
And if the light's on, it's on bright.
It's on.
It's on all the
Right.
way. There's
Yeah.
no dimmer switch.
Exactly.
But in the middle of the night, when one person's getting up, it's just like you may as well wake up everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Until we found one of our favorite new things to pack that I don't think I'll leave home without anymore.
No, because you never can tell what you're going to find on the ship.
And it's not really hard to pack, is it?
No.
It's really pretty compact. And this is a motion sensor light. Do you want to show it to us?
The nice thing about this is that we can, I can slip this into a toiletry bag or someplace like that because it's pretty small. And it has a magnet, and we all know that the walls are metal, so we can put this up in the bathroom, and then we can angle this any way we want. And the nice thing is that it's not bright; it's pretty dim, and it goes on by motion, and then it goes off. So when you're not in there, it's not on. You can even leave the door of the bathroom open; you're not getting anything. But as soon as you come close, the light comes on.
You can see enough without turning on the big bright overhead light in the middle of the night.
There's no reason to turn on the lights. Right.
So isn't that a nice addition to our packing tips that we are not going to go without? And we'll leave a link below. If somebody wants to get this, it's readily available and not very expensive.
No, they're pretty
pretty
inexpensive, and I think it solves a lot of problems with if you have kids or whatever. Anybody can just easily find their way around, even if you're not going to put it in the bathroom. Just having it, near the floor on
another
inside
part
the
of
cabin.
the stateroom. Absolutely. So I really like this one. This was a find. So that's tip number 1.
Right.
Now, tip number 2, we've probably talked about before, but if I have to prioritize, it's still one of those things I won't leave home without. And that is my luggage tag holder.
Right.
And I have this one with a luggage tag in it from Celebrity Cruises. So you can see that this is sort of very long, rectangular.
I guess we're going to be cruising again. Luggage tags keep printing. I don't know.
I had to use a real life example. Sure, we're going to cruise soon. So we'll talk about that in another video. But when we're packing, you print out your luggage tags at home now.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but are you actually traveling these days with a pair of scissors and a roll of packing tape?
No, and a lot of people say, I don't need that because when I get to the pier, the luggage handler, that they have all of the luggage tags, they'll put it on there for you. And that's great if they write the room number down. We've seen it where people...
What if they transpose a number very inadvertently?
They don't mean to do it. Sometimes it doesn't even get on the ship. We've seen that happen not too long ago.
And the other thing is weather, right? Yeah. So you do have to protect in some way. Again, why packing tape comes up as an option.
Sure.
Or these really easy to pack and store luggage tags that are reusable. They just have a zip top to them. You fold your luggage tag at home, slip it in, And with the ring that's on here, you just attach it to your bag,
Right.
and it doesn't then miss all of the internal coding, color coding, and schematic that the cruise line uses to help them quickly and efficiently send those bags to the right room
Right.
on the
right
ship,
deck.
and maybe before dinner,
right ship,
in case you want to get changed and have your clothes before the first night's event.
Right.
So
Now-
I really like these because then the luggage tag's not going to smear if it's
Right.
raining and wet and that kind of thing.
It's going to work out really good. And also, if you're flying in, don't put these on to go on the airline. Put these on before you get to the pier, maybe at the hotel room, something like that. And then once you get your bags in your cabin, take them back off again, because you're going to get new luggage tags when you leave the ship, and you don't want to get them confused and end up putting these back on the ship when they see the old tags.
Right,
So,
because the ones on the way out have a different marking system, a different set of groups depending on what time you're going to disembark the ship.
Right.
Very different than the information that helps this bag get to your room on the way onto a ship.
and you won't even need these holders anymore when you're getting off the ship. It's a different kind of luggage tag, and so you can. They're the kind that like the airlines use that stick on. So
Which these are not.
Which these are not.
And so if you don't want to bring scissors and packing tape or a stapler, and
or
you
hope
don't,
that your bags have the right room number on it. So
then definitely think about investing. They probably come at least a half dozen or more in a pack.
all
Usually,
different sizes. Yeah.
usually enough for you to label every bag that you and your family are taking.
Right.
And you make a good point. They come in different shapes and sizes that match the configuration of the luggage tag from your cruise line. So if you're not going on Celebrity Cruises or Royal Caribbean that these fit, if you're going on Holland America or Princess, for example, or NCL, they are going to be shorter and wider, and they make the similar kind of clear tag holders that are very unique and fit perfectly for the cruise line's luggage tag, depending on how you're traveling. So just look up and make sure you're getting the right size and the right ones. These work for me because they fit this luggage tag.
Yep.
I love it. Now, the other thing that we like to do is really make good use of the space in our stateroom and not have things just laying on the bed all the time, laying on the couch, because we want to use those
We want to
parts
use
of the
them.
room.
It makes it a little more difficult for your cabin attendant to be moving stuff around. Where's he going to put the towel animal?
And I don't know, no matter how lightly we pack, I always feel like I could use a little bit more storage.
Sure.
So what way can we get over that?
Well, back to the metal walls in the cabins, we use the magnetic clips.
Now
These
here are
things
several.
great.
They're probably hard to see, but I'm going to overlay some pictures here to show them in use. And we use them for a variety of things because most of the walls and the ceilings in our stateroom are metal.
Right. And you've probably heard of these hooks before. Unless you're new to cruising, you may not realize it, but these things are great. Everybody that has been on a cruise or two realizes the value of these little hooks.
And look how small they are. Like here's a set of 4 that I just have magnetically connected. They don't take up any room really in your carry-on bag to take on board with you.
And they hold quite a bit of weight too.
And that's the thing.
My toiletry bag on it, all kinds of stuff.
Get the heavy duty ones so you can hang a lot. Some people use them along the walls if you need a few more hooks than are provided for you to hang a day bag or multiple hats and things you want to grab and go as you enter and leave your stateroom. You use it inside the bathroom to hang up that toiletry bag that you mentioned. And the other thing is that when we get on a ship, somehow our clothes are a little more rumpled than we like. And we may want to hang them up and get out our Downy wrinkle release and stretch them out. And there's a real temptation that people have to try to hang up their clothes and engage in the ceiling through the air conditioning vents, and things get messed up.
Right.
The cruise lines really don't want us to do that. But
stay away from anything that belongs to the ship to hang stuff on.
Right, and so if you can just put a very easy to hang and easy to remove clip like this, hang a shirt, you can get out the wrinkle release and you're ready to go to dinner in no time.
Yep, it works out great.
It's better than hanging nice dry clothes in the wet shower area, you know, to take care of things like wrinkle releasing, or if you just need more room to dry bathing suits, those clotheslines in the shower are kind of limited.
Right.
And a few of them don't have them anymore. So that makes sense. So that's tip number 3.
Right.
Now, how about tip number 4?
Well, you know, it was funny because I think on the last cruise we were on, we were doing some videoing of the ship, and I noticed over at the guest relations that there was a lineup of people with their luggage. And this is the day before we're getting off the ship. And I'm thinking, what are they doing with their luggage? And then I see that they brought out a little scale, and people were trying to weigh their bags because they're getting on the flight. And obviously,
weight restrictions.
the weight restrictions on the flight. So I'm thinking, oh, that's what they're doing. And, you know, one thing that we learned a long time ago, even without cruising, is to bring our own little scale.
Now this is so easy to pack. Again, it folds right up.
Yep.
And it's so easy to use. We just wrap this little strap around one of the handles on the suitcase.
Yep.
And turn this on, and it'll do either
lift it up,
pounds or kilograms.
Right.
I think we can change the units, and you can lift it off the floor and get a very accurate reading, you know, within a half a pound or a pound, which is going to give you that opportunity not to overstuff one bag and get charged a lot of money.
Well, there was one time that we were getting on the plane, and they said, oh, this bag is overweight. I said, really? Because I just weighed all of my bags, and that was under. And she, well, put it back on there. Let me see. Oh, yeah, no, it's fine.
They would have loved to have charged you extra. And the other thing that is so sad to see, and I've seen it too many times in the airport, people sprawled on the floor with their suitcases open, and they're desperately trying to repack and rearrange so that everything meets the airline requirements.
Right. It's silly.
When if they had had something like this at home or on the ship so that they can go home, they wouldn't be on the floor in the airport just trying desperately to figure it out.
Give me 2 pounds. I need, you know.
And it's hard to know because you don't have your scales, so you repack it and it's still wrong. So get one of these scales. We'll leave the link below to all these items.
You don't
it's
have
so
to.
easy.
You don't have to go down to guest relations looking for a scale to weigh your bag.
That's
and waste your last beautiful day on the ship doing that.
Oh, why be in line at guest relations when you can be out having fun? Absolutely. I'll meet you on the pool deck.
Really? Yeah.
Now, even though we have traveled on a lot of new ships and we go on some classics that have been around for quite a while and have been refurbished, one of the things that I'm always looking for a little bit more is in the area of technology and being able to recharge, plug in, make sure it's phones, tablets, computers, everything like that. And there are sometimes limited outlets and spaces.
Even on new ships.
Even on new ships. Or they're in kind of inconvenient places, maybe only over by the desk, or only here and only there. And when you have multiple things that you need to plug in, you don't want to have to run back to the room to cycle out your electronics and you know, be plugging things in at different times of the day. How can you avoid that being a problem? How do you solve that?
Well, one of the things that you can do is you can take like a European plug and turn it into a US plug, or take a US plug and turn it into a European plug.
And maybe this is how you do it. And so this is a travel adapter, and it has a USB.
And it has, and it, here it is. It's got, you know, extra USBs. You can plug that in, and it's got a plug adapter for every single one. So you can take, like in the US, you can take one of those European outlets and plug this in, and then you can use your chargers. Now you got to be careful what you plug in here. You can use your phone chargers and things like that. You can plug in that will take that kind of voltage, the 220, and you can plug them into here, or you can just use the USB straight out of here. And so you get an extra 4 USBs.
For carrying that one little gadget.
For carrying this one little thing. So that's extra on top of the US outlet. So and
that's coming very handy for us because we do travel with multiple devices, and I bet a lot of families do as well.
It does.
Everybody's got a phone, and many people have a tablet or some other device they want to plug in, usually all at once.
Yeah, there's a lot of ships that are out there still. We were just on one not too long ago that had no USBs at all. So you had to use your own charger, and you have to use your own charger, and usually that takes up the one US plug right there. So then you're kind of, you know, short. So something like this is really handy.
That's been a real find. So again, it's a don't leave home without it.
Right. Now for a bonus
tip.
But before we get to the bonus tip.
Well, you know what? It really helps this channel to be shown to cruisers like you and us if you would give it a thumbs up and show that you like this video and that it's providing helpful information to you. We really appreciate it if you'll do that. And if you haven't already, we ask you to consider subscribing to the channel. I think it's still free.
It is still free. And with our last tip, subscribing to the channel, you're going to want to do that.
You're not going to want to miss out not only on our bonus tip, but also on the little experiment we're going to do and report back in a future video.
Right.
That's right.
So
what is our final tip? What is the last thing you won't leave home without anymore?
This is something new that I've been using on the last few cruises, and
has it worked out for you?
And it's worked out.
So let's see what it is. It's a little small. Can you hold it up?
These are the little air tags that are put out by Apple. Now they have similar ones that are out there for Samsung phones, but this is what we use for the Apple phones, and it is really kind of neat because. And what I did too is I labeled them so I know which one goes where. So
like which suitcase?
Which
like
suitcase?
A large suitcase, small suitcase,
so I know
blue
this
suitcase,
this
whatever
is my large green suitcase. So you know I know which one is missing. So.
And then we also got these little colorful holders that have a little ring on them as well. That house the air tag.
Right.
And that's kind of helpful in case you want to not only put it in a bag, but attach it to something rather than have that disc.
The way they come is just a little disc, and then you can put them in something like that. They have all different kinds that you can put them in.
We like these.
And those things work great for us.
And I can still see the labels right through the color scheme. So we have both a color to remind us where to put it, and we've kind of named them.
Right.
And that's really great. And now what good is putting an Apple AirTag inside a bag going to the airport or on a cruise ship?
Well, you're going to know, even if the airline doesn't, you're going to know where your bag is. It's going to say that it's still over in Amsterdam.
Oh, we've heard a few of those. Or it's in, some area not yet loaded on a plane, not yet loaded on a cruise ship.
On the ship,
it could be back on the port.
Where the bag was sitting still at the port when the ship sails away. So at least you can tell them, not going to help you much, but you can say, I know where the bag is, even if you don't. You left it over here. So.
But the other thing too is that sometimes I see bags, they take so many bags up to a certain deck on a cruise ship, and they try to distribute them quickly up and down the hall in front of your door. And every once in a while you think, it looks like they've distributed all these bags, but mine are not at my door. It's probably on the ship, but what if it's just still around the corner?
Right.
Or it's downstairs, and this whole concept of how long do I have to wait, is it lost?
Right.
This can help solve that as well.
This can help solve that.
You'll see if it's over on deck 8 when you should be on deck 11.
Right, and you can see that, I think that cruise ships do an excellent job of getting the luggage to the room. It's rarely lost, and if it's lost, it's not lost for very long. As long as it gets on the ship, you're going to get your bag. These really come in handy mostly, I think, for air travel.
Absolutely.
So we're going to give it a big test.
Now, how do you actually keep track of that? This is in your luggage, but how do you keep track of where it actually is?
There's a little app that you put on your phone, and whenever this encounters an Apple phone, which are all over the place. It could be the people that are working back in the baggage handling. It could be anybody that walks by. It's going to get picked up. They don't need to know it. They don't need to see it. They have no idea that their phone that's in their pocket just pinged 27 air tags that are in all the luggage around here.
So it's just helping to give another geolocation.
That's all it does. Is it
just updates the location? It just
pings the location, so it knows it's on this street. And these things, not too long ago, this was used, and they found over $15,000 worth of stolen
jewelry and other items,
articles from an airport.
That's right. It tracked it right home to the person who was
right to the
silly
guy's
enough
house,
to take it.
Right, so he had no idea that this was embedded inside the bag. People are using these. They're putting them in their car. They're putting them in kids' backpacks. They're putting them all over the place. So they know where everything is.
So you can track on your phone where your bags are because you've got them linked.
Right.
But everybody's phone is just helping you to understand the location.
And
by
they have no idea.
And it's a very passive kind of experience. Now, what kind of experiment can we do that might be fun for our travel viewers?
Well, we're going to send a package to Australia.
Around the world?
Around the world, or it's going to go to Australia. It's about as far as you can go. And usually when we send a package to Australia, it's really kind of, when is it ever going to get there? I mean, it could take 3 weeks. It could take 3 months.
We've had all of those
We've
things
had stuff where we said, well, that's gone because it's been,
quite a while.
4 months and it's never shown up. So I guess, you know, I guess that's the end of that one. But so what we're going to do is we're going to put one of these in a package and we're going to ship it to Australia.
And let's see what happens.
We're going to see what happens, where this thing is going to go.
So if you want to follow along and follow the journey of the AirTag,
right,
keep watching this channel, because we'll have an episode where we get everything boxed up and ready to ship.
Right.
And then we're going to check in periodically
whenever it changes the location,
where
we're
the location
where
takes it.
where this box actually goes. Why does it take 3 months to get, you know, from here to there? So
well, we'll find out. And now this time, I hope it only takes 2 weeks. We'll see.
Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? But you know, is it going to sit in Miami for 2 weeks and then
Hope
you know
not.
who knows? So
We'll find out. This will be a fun test. So
Right.
stay tuned, and hope you enjoyed all of these tips, our top 5 and our bonus tip of AirTags, or the Samsung equivalent.
Yeah.
And if you like packing for your next cruise and making sure you are packing efficiently but taking some of the things that will make your trip most enjoyable, check out the video in the upper right hand corner of the screen before you go. We share our full packing tip list and you don't want to miss it.